everybody, and welcome. My name is Danelle Numis, and I'm a professional yoga teacher based out of San Francisco, California. This video is going to introduce you to all of the common standing poses, the balance standing poses that we experience in a lot of yoga classes. We'll start really simple with Tadasana. If you'd like, you can have a mat, you can have an empty space, but if you really want some added support, I've placed a chair here to show you an example of adding support to your practice. You can also use a wall or some other piece of furniture that feels more stable. Let's begin in Tadasana. You'll see that my feet are parallel and hip distance apart. That doesn't really mean outer hip distance, it doesn't really mean inner thigh hip distance. It means where your hip points start and then down. When I started yoga asana practice many years ago, I grew up dancing, so I often had a turnout position. Then there are also a lot of practitioners that end up with pigeon-toed feet. Internal rotation or external rotation, whatever sort of feels most common and comfortable for you, that's probably where you'll trend. But in order to find a little bit more neutral position, you'll want your feet to be parallel. So this could take some time, but it definitely happens the more you practice. Maybe take your hands to your hips and then soften your knees a little bit just to kind of feel some buoyancy into your legs. You'll want to press down through 3 points of contact: the inner edge of the foot, the outer edge of the foot, and your heel bone. So the big toe mound or the ball of the foot, the pinky toe mound or the outer edge, and then the heel bone. Those 3 points of contact will be your stability. And then like a dome, the arch lifts up away from those 3 points of contact. You'll want your legs to be straight, but some of you might be hypermobile, where you're maybe seen in this example, you're kind of hyperextending, right? I'm kind of sticking my butt back, but maybe you're hyperextending. I often do that as well. So you'll want a little micro bend in the knees. That way your muscles around your knee bone will activate. So you're lifting the quadriceps away from the earth. Slight arch of the lower back, so that's your natural curvature of your spine. Not so much a tuck, not so much a super arch, but just that natural curvature of your lower back. And then arms can be alongside your body. I think that's enough for now. Let's take a cleansing breath in and a cleansing breath out. So this is Tadasana. When you reach your arms up and overhead, this is called Urdhva Hastasana, or upward hand position. So you'll probably do a bunch of those, reaching up and then reaching down. Let's move on to tree pose, or Vrikshasana. I'm gonna place my hand to the chair. Come up onto the ball of your left foot. So if you're facing me, you're doing the opposite side. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Externally rotate your left knee and hip, and then draw the left foot up your leg. Maybe it stays on the floor, maybe it comes up to your shin, your knee, or you can grab it and reach it towards your inner thigh. Stand tall through your standing leg. Keep the hips level. The right leg, in your case, is really stable. Your left hip is externally rotating, so you're feeling that outer hip activation. And then maybe trust yourself enough to bring your left hand to your heart and then your right hand to meet it. If you desire more, you can reach your arms forward, up and overhead into upward hand position, or soften the elbows and open the heart a little bit more for Prana Mudra. Last challenge, which is the hard one, you can soften your gaze, even if for a second. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's move on. Take your hands to your hips, or again, one hand to the chair or the piece of furniture for stability. Soften your standing knee, and then cross your outer ankle or shin bone on top of your right thigh. Keep the hips level and the shoulders level. Sit down and back into an imaginary chair. You can certainly do this seated if that makes more sense for you. But in this way, you're increasing the outer hip opening, the external rotation of your left hip, and then maybe bringing one hand to your heart and then the other for balance. Ardha Utkatasana, or half chair pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay with this, or let's move on. Take your hands back to your hips or hand back to the chair for more stability. Cross your left thigh on top of your right thigh, and maybe single cross or double cross the legs for eagle legs. If we're just gonna do eagle legs today, we can add the arms another time. Cleansing breath in. So a little bit deeper, exhale out. It's the tricky one, it's nice to have the support. Go ahead and stand up. Pull your left knee into the chest, give it a squeeze, and then release. I'm gonna move my chair to the other side, and we'll do all of that yummy stuff on the opposite side. So my left hand, or your left hand, is going to be on the support. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Externally rotate your right knee and your hip. Stand tall to the left leg, just like Tadasana, just like mountain pose. And then begin to guide the right foot up the leg. Maybe the inner calf, maybe the knee, maybe you hoist it up to your inner thigh. Stand tall again on your standing leg. Ooh, the chair moved a little bit. Take your right hand to your heart. I'm gonna lighten the load. Maybe bring your left hand to meet your right. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Again, if you want, you can stay here. This is such a good pose to practice. If you want to increase the intensity, reach your arms overhead. Maybe open the arms wider, open the chest, and you can even look up or close your eyes for a moment or two. Breathe in. Breathe out. Well done, everyone. Let's move on again. Hands back to your hips or maybe to the chair. Bend your standing knee. Cross your opposite ankle on top of that thigh. So figure four, sometimes called standing pigeon or half chair pose, Ardha Utkatasana. Figure four also. Bend your standing knee. Ooh, I feel this one today. And then lift the outer hip up and back. Definitely more intense on this side than the other side. Breathe in. Maybe balance with hands to heart. Breathe out. Again, option to stay with half chair pose or moving on to eagle legs. Right hand to your right hip or both hands to hips. Cross, right thigh on top of left, single cross, or maybe if you have the range of motion, tuck your right toes around your left calf for the double wrap. Cleansing breath. In. And exhale, sit a little bit deeper. Good job. Go ahead and stand up. Pull your right knee into your chest, give it a tug, and then release. Shake it out. Left leg shakes out, right leg shakes out. Let's move on. Turn towards your support or even just stand in Tadasana on profile. I'm gonna rest my hands on the chair for more stability. Transfer the weight into your right leg. I'm gonna do the same side as you right now in case you're confused. Bend your left knee, hamstring curl. Ooh, I feel those hamstrings. Heel towards your butt. You can stay here again, or maybe reach your left hand to your left foot. Outer edge is fine. If you have the range of motion in your shoulder, you can grab the big toe side. Dancer's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe kick back and reach farther forward. The degree and range of motion is not that important as long as you're trying it. Maybe right hand to heart, or maybe right arm reaches out in front of you and balance. For 3. Natarajasana. 2. And 1. Well done. Go ahead and pull the left knee back into the chest. So a quick counter pose, hip flexion. And then release. You okay there, Cecil? Relax your left leg. Relax your right leg. You have stuff all over your body. Okay, let's do the other side. Ooh, careful. Okay, hands again to your support. Transfer the weight to the left foot. Mind your dog. Bend your right knee, hamstring curl, heel to butt. Stay here. Reach the right hand, maybe grab hold of the right pinky toe edge of the foot. Again, I'm getting a shoulder stretch, but if I want a little bit more opening through the front of the chest, I'm gonna walk my hand around to grab the big toe side. We can review that in another video. Stand tall as you inhale, and maybe go a little bit deeper, kicking your right leg straight back. An option to balance with your left hand at your heart center or your left arm straight out into the space in front of you. It's a tough one, but give it a try. Natarajasana, dancer's pose. For 3, breathe, 2, and 1. Whew, that was a lot. Pull the right knee into the chest, counter pose, and then release. Great job. I've got one last standing pose for you, and it's perfect that Cecil's right here to jump me. Malasana, or sometimes called Upaveshasana. Circle the arms wide up and overhead. Your feet are nice and wide, and you can bend at the knees and maybe take a more upright squat where your hands are resting on your thighs and you're sitting into this squat. He decided to leave me at this point. Or you can take a more narrow stance, turn your toes out and heels in, and then drop into a full expression of Malasana or Upaveshasana, yogic squat or garland pose. Cleansing breath in, cleansing breath out. Well done. Go ahead and press through the heels to stand up. I know you can do it. You can always use your support if that helps you, and then relax your arms down. That was kind of a bonus one. Parallel your feet again and come back to Tadasana. I really hope that helped you and your practice. May it be a benefit, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for joining.